Hmm. Alright, so. Alright, so. Yeah, my voice is there. Y'all can hear me, right? Mm, I was talking to myself till now. I thought my mic is on, but it wasn't. So I have to basically say everything again and repeat. Um, what I'm going to do today is, as you can see on the right, yeah. There is this video. Yeah, there is a link also in the description if you want to go check it. Their channel is called Free Code Camp, and they're having a video of Learn Python full course for beginners. So what I'm going to do is watch it from the beginning and do the same thing, like basically just follow up and try to learn. Yeah, just follow up and so let's get started. I'll try to finish it. It's 4 hours long. I'll try to be up and finish it on the stream. Okay, so yeah, let's get started then.
New Python file. This will
Let
be
me
our
also
first
check the audio and how loud is the second video. Yeah, you know, it's kind of complicated to do all these things. How loud is the second video on the stream? Okay. So yeah, let's get started. Let me also check the. Yeah, I have to make it a bit. Where is it? 1 second.
program, and I can just give this a name. So why don't we just call this app? And I'm just gonna click OK. All right, so now we have our first Python file open, and we can just start typing
that should be okay.
Python. So I want to show you guys.
That should be perfect. Yeah, I have to make it a bit. Where is it? Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. So we can get started now.
Just a very basic Python program, and this is just going to be a hello world program. So we're just going to print something out.
I already did this, but I've decided to start from actually like from zero, so that I can have it on stream and I can watch the full stream of afterwards. Okay, I will just do it from zero till I finish it. Okay.
The screen. So what I want to do is I want to type out print.
So that's the print command, yeah.
Open and close parentheses. Now inside of this parentheses we can make some quotation marks, and inside of the quotation marks I'm just going to type out hello.
That's the common hello world command. Okay, so what we have to do is just type print, then brackets, then yeah, hello world. That's the thing everyone starts with, right? Okay, let's go to the next point.
So this is like a very basic Python
program. Yeah, exactly.
What this is going to do is it's just going to print out hello world onto the screen. And so now what I can do is I can actually run this file, and we're actually getting a little error here. It wants us to create a new line at the end of the file. And so now in order to run our Python program, I'm just going to come up here to the top, and I'm just going to click run, and we'll click this run button right here. And now we'll see what happens. So it's asking me what I want to run. I can just click app, and down here at the bottom you'll notice that we have this text that just got printed out, hello world. And so whatever
1 minute. Run with Python console. Apply, run. What the heck? 1 second. I don't get it. What the hell did I do wrong? Course, right? Then
print.
Let me rewatch.
Here, and now we'll see what happens.
But that's not what I want to do. Store as project file. No. That's not really what I want to do. And I still don't get it. This thing never showed up when I tried to run the... Oh, wait. Interpreter. What the heck? Okay. Which one is it? There is so many. What the fuck? Python project, practice. This is everything I've done till now, but I can't find the current one, which is called Free Code Camp. It's not here. Python practice. I'll just go with this one, okay? Let's see. Can I run now, please? What the heck, bro? Select a valid Python interpreter. What? Okay, 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 okay. Okay.
So it's asking me what I want to run. I can just click app. And down here at the bottom, you'll notice that we have this text that just got printed out, hello world. And so whatever I print or whatever I put inside of this print statement is going to get printed out down below in the console. So as long as you're getting that print statement to work, then you've actually written your first Python program. And as we go forward in the course, we're going to be writing all sorts of awesome Python programs, and we're going to be doing all sorts of cool stuff.
Can't wait. Drawing a shape. Then we're getting into it.
In this tutorial, I want to talk to you about writing a basic Python program. So we're going to write just a very simple Python program. We're going to look at how we can go ahead and write our programs. We're going to talk about how our programs are getting executed by Python. And we're also going to draw out a little shape onto the screen. So this is going to be pretty cool. I'm excited to talk to you guys about just the bare basics of Python and really just sort of give you an introduction. So over here, we have our basic text editor. And so any of the Python code that I write inside of this file is actually going to get executed by Python. So this Python file has a bunch of Python code inside of it. And basically what we're doing when we're programming in Python is we're just giving the computer a set of instructions, right? That's really what programming is. It's just like we're specifying a set of instructions and the computer is going to go off and execute those instructions that we give it. And so the more complex the instructions we give to the computer, the more complex the tasks the computer can carry out. So I want to show you guys how we can use some Python instructions or some Python code in order to draw out a shape onto the screen. So I'm actually going to draw out a little triangle. So over here, we can actually print something out onto the screen in Python using something called a print statement. So I can just type out print, and inside of these parentheses, I can just type some quotation marks, and inside the quotation marks, we can put whatever we want to print out onto the screen. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm actually going to make a few of these little print statements. And we're going to actually draw a shape. So we're going to draw like a triangle type shape. So down here, I'm just going to draw a forward slash. And then up here, I'll make a space, and we'll do another forward slash. Here, we'll make 2 spaces.
So we're basically doing the same thing as he does, right? We're just trying to keep up.
And now I'm going to draw like vertical bars going all the way down. And actually, we can do some underscores here as well. That'd be kind of cool. All right, so now we have...
I honestly just realized that I have never used this straight line on my keyboard, so I can't find it. But it has to be here, right? 1 minute. Which one it is? What the heck? Oh, it's clear. Okay.
Our triangle.
Yeah. Not this one. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Where is... Oh. Yeah. That should be fine. There is no space here. Okay. Now here the bracket. And yeah, it should be fine now, yeah. And there should be underscores here, but not this way. Clearly not this way.
And now I'm going to draw like vertical bars going all the way down. And actually, we can do some underscores here as well. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's how it is supposed to be, but Mm. Yeah, should be fine, I guess. Yeah.
Right, so now we have our triangle looking shape, and you can see it looks kind of like a right triangle. So I can save my file, and I can
What
either come
the
up here to
bro? No, 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 no. I got it. I got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Easy, easy, easy. Yeah. Mm.
run and click run app, or if you're using PyCharm, you can also just come over here and click this play
Yeah.
button. And
No,
when
you
I click the
can't.
play button, I want you to
You
notice what
can't.
happens down here. So down here we have this little window, and this is called the console. And basically the console is just a place where Python is going to output some information. So when we use this print statement, we're basically telling Python like, hey, can you print something out onto the console? So there's a lot of situations where we're going to want to see what's going on in our code. And we can use that print statement and print things out to the console, and we can basically like have a little window into what our program's doing. In our case, we're just going to be printing out this triangle onto the console. So I'm going to come over here and click this play button, and you'll see down here we're actually printing out that triangle. So mission accomplished, we were able to print out our shape.
Yep.
So I could really draw any shape I wanted as long as I was able to specify it inside of these print statements. And so essentially what Python's doing when I click that play button is it's going into this file and it's looking at all of these instructions in order. So the first thing it does is it goes to this instruction and it says, okay, they want me to draw out these like little forward slash and this vertical bar above the screen. Once it does that, it goes down to this instruction. It says, okay, they want me to print something out again. When it prints that out, it goes down to this instruction, etc. So Python is actually going to execute the
I see we're having troubles. Let me check. Yeah. No, you can't. You can't. There is some error that showed up on YouTube Studio, and I just want to make sure everything is alright. Nah, bro, it's fine. It's just that the delay is way too big, but the rest is fine. Oh, wait. I just want to make sure everything is alright. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. It's clearly fine. Just want to make sure. Yeah. It's fine.
lines of code that we write in order. So the order in which I write the instructions matters a lot. So for example, if I was to take this last line here and
I don't think it's working properly. I don't think it's working properly. No, it should be fine. It should be fine. No, It has to be fine. And I keep saying this, but I'm surprised. The fuck? Be fine. And I keep saying this, but I'm surprised. The fuck? Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So let's get into it. Just give me a second, yeah? I'll be back. Yeah, so I'm back. Guess who is back? um, I'm actually so sorry for the way I started, but it really seems like it's lagging and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'm back. Guess who is back? Um, I'm actually so sorry for the way I started, but it really seems like it's lagging and stuff like that. So okay, let me actually try to do something so I can fix this problem. Yeah. Okay.
Put it up here at the top. Now when I save the file, instead of just drawing out that triangle, it's going to draw out this little upside down bottom thing at the top and then the rest of the triangle down here. So the order of the instructions actually matters a lot. And so this is basically how your Python programs are going to go. As we go through this course, we're going to learn more and more of these little lines. So here we're just using this little print function. Basically, it just prints something out onto the screen. There's a bunch of little things like this that we can learn, and as we go through, we'll learn more and more instructions that we can give to the computer. But in this lesson, I just want to kind of show you guys the basics, right? We can essentially just define these little instructions for the computer, and the computer will execute them in order.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting.
In this tutorial, I want to talk to you guys about using variables.
Variables and data bytes, yeah, data types, yeah. So let's delete everything.
Now, in Python, you're going to be dealing with a lot of data, and so
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting, I promise. So let's quickly copy everything as we're going to need all this information. Okay, so there once was, I'm sorry, a man named George, right? Okay, let's go to the next one. Again, print bracket. Okay, he was 70 years old. Now again print. Okay, he really liked the name George, right? Next one, print, oh sorry, print but didn't oh sorry didn't like Ben 70. Okay, so we're having the information. Okay, now we're going to work on variables and data types based on the information, right? And you're basically gonna see, wait,
We're going to be working with all types of information and data and values. And sometimes that data can be difficult to manage. So in Python, we have this thing called a variable. And it's basically just a container where we can store certain data values. And when we use a variable, when we put those data values inside containers, it makes it a lot easier for us to work with and manage all of the different data inside of our programs. So variables are extremely helpful, and it's sort of like a core topic in Python that you're really going to want to know and master. So in this tutorial, I'm going to teach you guys everything you need to know to get started with variables. We're going to look at what they are, why they're used.
I've watched many videos about how to master your skills in Python, right? And most of them were saying that variables, data types, and all this kind of stuff. Wait, I noted down. So 1 second. Variables, data types, and flow control. No, program flow. All these things are important. They're very important, and you have to like keep studying them. Okay.
Useful, and we'll look at the different types of variables and the different types of data that we can store inside of variables. So over here in my Python file, I just have a very simple program, and it's basically just printing some text out onto the screen. And so this is actually a little story that I wrote. It says, there once was a man named George. He was 70 years old. He really liked the name George, but didn't like being 70. So this is a valid Python program. I could go ahead and run this program, and you'll see down here in the console, everything prints out and it looks great. So we have an awesome little Python program here. But let's say that inside of our story, I wanted to change the character's name. So instead of naming the character George, let's say I wanted to name the character John. Well, I'm going to have to go through and I'm going to have to manually change the name George to the name John at every place inside of this story where it's mentioned. So I'm going to have to go over here and I'll say, okay, John, I'm going to have to manually change that. And then, okay, down here, we're going to have to, again, manually type in John and change it to John. So in order to change the character's name, I had to manually go in and
Wait, why he did that?
mentioned. So I'm gonna have to George to the name John at every place inside the menu. I wanted to change the character's name. So instead of naming the character George, let's say I wanted to name the character John.
Oh, okay. Just
go through and I'm gonna have to manually change the name George to the name John at every place inside of this story where it's mentioned. So I'm gonna have to go over here and
merci, mommy.
John, I'm gonna have to manually change that. And then, okay, down here, we're gonna have to, again, manually type in John and change it to John. So in order to change the character's name, I had to manually go in and change it in both places. And now let's say, okay, maybe we want to change the character's name, age also. So in addition to changing the name, we also want to change the age. Let's make him a little bit younger. So why don't we say John is going to be 35. And so you'll see here I had to come here and manually change the age and then come down here and manually change it again, right? And now that we changed it, like it's going to work, it's going to be updated in our program, but you'll notice that in order to make that change, like I had to look through the entire program, find where that value was and change it. And this was only with 4 lines of the story. Imagine if I had a story that was like
yeah, there is a way you can change everything.
Character's name and
Let's see.
hundreds of times. I mean, I'd have to look through each one of those lines and manually change the character's name. And that is not a very good way for us to do this. And it's really not a good way for us to manage the data in our program, right? The character's name and the age. And so we can actually use a variable in order to store the character's name and the character's age. And when we use that variable, it'll make it a lot easier for us to put the character's name and age inside of our program here. So I'm going to show you guys how we can create a variable for the character's name and age. And I'm just going to go up here above this print statement. And up here, I want to create a variable. So when we create a variable in Python, we actually need to give Python a couple pieces of information. The first piece of information we need to give Python is the name of the variable.
Yeah.
I need to actually assign a name to this container where we're going to be storing information. And so all I have to do is just type out the name of the variable that I want to create. So I'm going to create a variable called character name. So I'm just going to say character, and I'm going to say underscore name. And so generally when you're creating a name for a variable in Python, you want to separate different words with an underscore.
Yeah.
2 words here, and I'm separating them with an underscore. And now what I need to do is I need to put a value inside of this variable. So basically what I can do is I can just say equals, and over here I can type a value. So I'm just going to type out the character's name inside of quotation marks. So we're just going to type out John. So now we have a variable for the character's name. And below this character name variable, I want to create another variable called character age. So I'm just going to type out character underscore age, and I'm going to set this equal to the character's age, which is 35. So we now have 2 variables, one representing the character's name and one representing the character's age. So what I can do now is I can replace the character's name inside of the story with this variable.
Oh my god.
I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So if we want to put a variable inside of this print statement, I'm actually going to have to do a couple things. The first thing I'm going to have to do is end off this text in here. So I'm going to have to put a quotation marks here at the end. And you can see I'm basically wrapping this whole thing into a single quoted line. And now I also have this text over here at the end, so I'm going to have to put a quotation mark here. So now I have a bunch of text here in quotation marks, and then I also have text over here in quotation marks. Now inside of here, instead of saying the character's name, I want to refer to that character name.
Yep. Oops, sorry.
Variable. So I'm just going to say plus
Character name. Yeah.
character.
1 minute.
Mark line. See, I'm basically wrapping this whole thing into a single quoted line.
And comma, right? Yeah.
Now I also have this text over here at the end, so I'm going to have to put a quotation mark here. So now I have a
Thank you, Ahmed, I guess. Yeah, thank you. And yeah, Jad, I'm just going to ignore you. I should have not sent you the link, but yeah.
a bunch of text here in quotation marks, and then I also have text over here in quotation marks. Now inside of here, instead of saying the character's name, I want to refer to that character name variable. So I'm just going to say plus
yeah, plus character name. Yeah. And what's the comma for?
character underscore name, and I want to say another plus sign. So I basically am saying I want to print out all of this text plus the value that's stored inside of character name plus all of this text. And
Oh, okay.
Will actually print out the character's name.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and run this program, and you'll see down here, and actually let me put a space over here, and we'll run it again. So you can see down here, we still are
something is wrong. Something is wrong.
Run this program.
Oh.
And you'll see down here, and actually let me put a space over here.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's what.
And we'll run it again. So you can see down here.
Thank you, Jad. Thank you.
Printing out there once was a man named John. And so what Python is doing is when
You didn't subscribe though, Jad.
it executes this line of code, of character name. So Python's going to go up here, it's going to get the value, and it's going to insert it inside of there. So I can basically do this for every instance of the character name in my file. So I can, I'll just copy this guy right here, and I can just paste it down here where the character's name is. So I'll paste this, and you can see.
Yeah, so let's go back here and then delete the name John, copy paste, and then I guess that's how it is. Let me see. Yeah, perfect, right?
See, now we're doing exactly the same thing that we did up there. I can also do this for the character's age. So I'm going to come down here and I'll paste in what we just pasted in. And I'm going to change this instead of character name.
Okay. Okay, then space, comma, and then again. Yeah, perfect, right? Wait. Nah. Line 6. What did I do? No, it's not. It's 1080, bro. What did I do wrong?
Also do this for the character down here. It's going to get this line of code.
What did I do wrong?
It's coming
Wait.
here and it's so I can doing a character's age. So I'm going to come down here and I'll paste in what we just pasted in. And I'm going to change this instead of.
Bro, if it's 144, then it's from you. Can't be 144. For me, it's 1080, and it's clearly visible. Let me check. Yeah, bro, for me, it's clearly visible. Ahmed, try to fix and then let me know, cause yeah, thank you Jad, I just needed a confirmation. Also Jad, please stop the childish behavior, okay? Just try to support your classmate and subscribe for real. Also your name will show up and you will be feeling proud after like few months when I'll be popular. But I still don't understand what I did wrong. Character age, yeah, that's what I did.
One more spot, so we're going to
Plus, yeah.
do this over here where we're mentioning the age. And again, I'll just change this.
Okay, wait. There is no way I can go back, right? So what I have to do? No, wait.
Character age. And so now when I run this program, it's going to print out the same.
What if I plus no? Age. Let me see. Cause what the oh my god, bro, I can't believe this, bro. I can't, bro, I can't. Oh my god, but it's still That's not what was wrong. Character age 70. He was okay. Okay, I got it. I got it. It has to work now. Yeah. Nah. Okay. Nah, it has to work now. That's what I'm talking about. I opened the laptop, it said. Yeah, so it was from your phone, see? Ahmed, really appreciate it you're here. So now we have to go back. Where? Oh yeah. Okay. Then plus age, which has to be, yeah, sorry, nah, plus I guess that's how it is, isn't it? Close the brackets and then run. It has to work. Yes, bro, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go to the next point.
Story that we were printing out before, but now I don't actually have to type in the character's name and the character's age. I can just refer to this variable. And the cool thing about variables is if I wanted to change the character's name, now all I have to do is change it up here. So I could change the character's name to like Tom or something. And we could also change their age. So I could change the age to be like 50. And now that's going to automatically update throughout our entire story. So when I click this play button, you'll see now we're using the name Tom and he's 50 years old. So that's where variables.
Wait, I just realized. Why you guys didn't tell me anything? Oh my god, I just realized the chat is going over the video. So I have to move it a bit down. Damn. Okay. Perfect, right? Yep. That's it. Oh my god, you guys didn't tell me the chat is going over the video. Oh my god. Okay, let's go to the next point, yeah?
Some way to control and manage the data that's inside of our programs. With variables,
Yeah, I did adjust it.
modify their values. So, for example, let's say that halfway through the story I wanted to change the character's name. Well, I can just make some new lines over here, and down here I can actually assign a new value to one of these variables. So I could say like character underscore name, and in order to give it a different value, all I have to do is just say equals, and we'll give it a different.
Cool. Not with the man. What do you mean? No, I don't know what you mean. Okay, so basically what we want to do now is leave the name as Tom for the half of the story, yeah? And then go back here. Equals, let's say Ahmed, right? Okay, cool.
Different values. So let's say halfway through the story we want to change the character's name to Mike.
I wasn't looking on the man, I was only listening to him. Okay, I got it.
Well, now when I run on my program, you'll see here in the first part of the story it says there once was a man named Tom, And in the second part of the story, it's referring to the name as Mike. So I actually updated the variable inside of my program over here. And that's a really awesome way. You know, a lot of times in these programs, you're going to want to be modifying the values of variables. And so you can do it just like that. And so finally, I want to talk to you guys about the different types of data that we can store inside of these variables. So over here, I have the character name and the character age. And I'm actually storing what are called strings. So a string is basically just plain text, right? So the name Tom, that's just plain text. Down here, these guys are strings as well. So there's a data type in Python called a string, and it's just basically going to store plain text. So, you know, any text,
Sorry, Ahmed, sorry.
story or, you know, someone's name, you can store inside of a string. There's also another type of data that we can store inside of Python, which is numbers. So in addition to storing text, we can also store numbers. So if I wanted to store a number, for example, let's say we wanted to store the character age instead of inside of a string, we could store it inside of a number. So I could just type out 50. And when we're storing a number, we don't need these quotation marks. You only need that quotation mark when you're storing a string. So if I wanted to store a number, I can just write it out like this.
Oh, okay.
And in addition to using whole numbers, I could also use decimal numbers.
No.
So I could say like 50.5678213. And Python's going to be able to store that number as well.
How?
So you can store all different types of numbers, and we can also store what's called a Boolean value. And a Boolean value is essentially a true or a
Line 7. No. I don't get it. Anyways, why wouldn't I use just why wouldn't I use the codes, right? But I'll actually go back and check what he did.
that we can store inside of Python, which is numbers. So in addition to storing text, we can also store numbers. So if I wanted to store a number, for example, let's say we wanted to store the character age instead of inside of a string, we could store it inside of a number. So I could just type out 50. And when we're storing a number, we don't need these quotation marks. You only need that quotation mark when you're storing a string. So if I wanted to store a number, I can just write it out like this. And in addition to using whole numbers, I could also use decimal numbers. So I could say like 50.5678213. And Python's going to be able to store that number as well. So you can store all different types of numbers. And we can also store what's called a Boolean value. And a Boolean value is essentially a...
Bro, there is different languages. Python is one of them, and it's recommended to start with because it's one of the easiest. Since like you can see, right, I can just type character name and then Ahmed. Well, in Java or anything like that, it's way more complicated. It's not that simple, right? And web expression, it's just something you can do in that software, and it's all about like creating a web page, and you can't even create it as you want, right? That's the only thing you can do with web expression, creating a web page. While with this thing you can do many things, like you can even create games and stuff. I mean, not like complicated games, but you can create games like Snake or I don't know. There is many things you can do with Python.
a true or a false value. And there's a lot of instances in programming where we're going to want to represent true or false data. For example, I could have a variable called like is male, and this would tell me whether or not someone was a male. And in my case, it would be true because I'm a guy, right? So I can, actually this needs to be capital. So I could store a value of either true or false. And actually, if we were naming this in Python, we'd want to use an underscore.
Yeah, exactly, bro. What the fuck? I was going to correct this guy.
Underscore male, and this can be either true or false. So true or false values is maybe not something that you're used to dealing with like in the real world, but in programming we're going to be using true or false values all the time. They're super important. So like I said, there's three basic types of data that we can work with in Python. There's strings, which is just like plain text, numbers, which would be like either decimal numbers or whole numbers like this, and there's true or false values. And these are the basic types of data. I mean, there's a bunch of other types of data that we can use, but I would say 99% of the time, as a new user and a new programmer to Python, you're just going to be dealing with these three types of data. So those are the basics of the data, and also with variables, and you're going to be using variables all the time in Python, so you definitely want to practice up and get comfortable using them.
Working with strings. I have to delete everything again, right? Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking of making a video, right? Vlad. Yes. I'm thinking of making a video once I'll be done with watching this tutorial, and basically do everything. Yeah, I know about the app. I know about the app. I will be doing everything again. Okay, so whatever I'm doing today, I'll be doing everything again on the video and try to upload it. Even though I'm basically copying this guy, it's actually first of all for my portfolio, right? So, because I'll be having a video which shows what I learned, and then and then also I might help some people, right?
Talk to you guys about working
Sorry.
with strings in Python. Now, one of the most common types of data that we're going to be working with in Python is going to be strings. And strings are basically just plain text. So any text that we want to have inside of our program, we can store inside of a string. So I want to talk to you guys about all the cool things we can do with strings, and we're basically just going to get a full introduction into why strings are awesome. So over here, I'm just going to actually print out a string. So I'm just going to say print, and inside of these parentheses, I can type out a string. In order to create a string, I need to use quotation marks. So I can make an open and close quotation marks, just like that. Now, inside of the quotation mark, I can put whatever text I want the string to have. So we could say like Draft Academy. And so now
What is this text?
with the text Draft Academy inside of it. So if I run my program, now down here we're going to print out Draft Academy, as you can see.
Cool.
And when we have these strings, there's actually a bunch of cool things that we can do with them. So one thing I could do would be to create a new line inside of the string. So if I wanted, I could come over here and I could say \n, and you can see it got highlighted in a different color. And what this is going to do is it's actually going to insert a new line into this string. So now it's going to say draft on one line and academy on another line. So I'm going to click play, and you'll see down here we just get
Damn cool.
In addition to the \n, I could also use a \quotation mark. So if I wanted to put a quotation mark inside of my string, I can't just put a quotation mark like that, because Python's going to think that I'm trying to end this string. So if I want to include a quotation mark, I can just use this special \ character, and that's called the escape character, and it basically just tells Python that whatever
Oh my God.
comes after it, we want to render literally. So when I say \quotation mark, it basically...
Yeah, good idea, but try to broadcast the info you got from him with a simpler and attractive way that makes people watch the video, and also... Yeah, I get you. Makes sense.
means like, hey Python, I want to print out a quotation mark. And so now we'll be able to print out a quotation mark right there. I can also use this to print out a \. So if I needed to print out a \, I could say \, and it'll just print out a normal \ now. So you can see just like that. So
Let me try to do this thing again, since I think I forgot already. Yeah, exactly. No, that's how it has to be, right? Yeah, exactly.
If you want, you can use that backslash to make new lines or print out quotation marks, or you can just use it as a normal backslash. In addition to just typing out a string here, I could also create a string variable. So I could come down up here and we can create a variable and we'll just call it phrase, and I'm going to set it equal to Draft Academy. So I can store this string value inside of a variable called phrase, and then when I want to print out that variable or I want to access that string variable, I can just type the name of
yeah, makes sense, makes sense,
that it's going to print out the
makes sense. And we don't need quotation marks, right? Oh my god. Okay.
value that was stored inside of it. I can also use something called concatenation. And concatenation is basically the process of taking a string and appending another string onto it. So I could come over here and I could say phrase, and I could say plus, and now I can add in another string. So I could say like is cool. And now this is going to say Draft Academy is cool. So I'm basically appending another string onto another one. They call that concatenation. And so in addition to doing
Okay. Easy, easy. Plus is cool. No. Yep. I'm sorry.
doing all that stuff, we can also use special things called functions.
Functions, yeah.
Is basically just a little block of code that we can run and it'll perform a specific operation for us. So we can use functions to modify our strings, and we can also use functions to get information about our strings. So I'm going to show you guys a couple common functions we can use with these strings, and they're actually going to do awesome stuff. So in order to access one of these functions, I can just say phrase, and then I can say dot. And I'm going to show you guys a function that we can use to convert this string entirely into lowercase. So I could just say phrase.lower, and then I'm going to want to type in open and close parentheses. And this will take this phrase, it'll take my string, and it'll convert it to lowercase. So you can see now we just have Draft Academy down here, but it's entirely in lowercase. I could also do the same thing for uppercase. So I could say phrase.upper, and this will convert the entire string into uppercase. So you can see now it's entirely uppercase. So in addition to converting the string into uppercase and lowercase, I could also check to see if
it's actually so interesting, you know. That's what actually got me into this thing, you know. One day I decided to like actually start doing something, and then I started watching tutorials, and then the first 5 minutes I tried to like actually play with Python and stuff. I found it so interesting. I actually found it so interesting. Like you can do so many things. You can do so many things in this thing.
Is entirely uppercase or entirely lowercase. So for example, I could say phrase.isUpper, and this is going to give me back a true or a false value. So it's going to be true if the string is entirely uppercase, or false if it's not. And you can see here we're getting a false value because this isn't uppercase. I can also use these functions in combination with each other. So for example, I could say phrase.upper, and then a parentheses, and then after this I could say
dot upper then wait, there is okay.
Dot is upper. And now what it's going to do is it's going to run this upper function, it's going to convert it into uppercase, and then it's going to run this is upper function right after that, and you'll see now we're going to get a true value back because it will have converted the whole thing into uppercase. So you can see now we're getting a true value. So you can use these functions one after another. It can be really useful. And there's a few other ones that I want to show you. So we can also figure out the length of this string. So if I wanted to figure out how many characters were inside of this string, I could just say len, and I'm actually going to make an open parentheses, and I'm going to make a close.
What is this thing? This one, right? Oh my god, so instead of just I wrote this thing, right? I wrote this thing so that I won't be supposed to type print giraffe academy. Okay, I typed in a phrase so that whenever I want to write this thing, okay, I'll just type print phrase, right? So now if I do it like 3 times, I can do it like 3 times, yeah, easily, and then it will print. What did I do? See what I'm doing because of you, Ahmed? No, okay. Okay, sorry. Without the quotation marks. Okay. See? So I won't be supposed to type print giraffe academy and then again print. You got me, yeah? I'll just type this and copy paste it as many times as I want. Now let's go back and let's see what this thing is. In
parentheses. So I'm essentially saying len, and this is another function, it's the length function. And inside of this len function, I'm actually passing this phrase variable. I'm basically giving the length function this, and it's going to spit out a number. So it'll tell me how many characters are inside of this string. And so you can see here we get 15 because there's 15 characters inside of Giraffe Academy. So that's how we can get the length of a string.
This is useful for when you have like a whole sentence, right? Instead of Giraffe Academy, you have like a whole sentence, and then you want to know how many letters there are in the sentence. Oh my god, what did I do? Okay. So the phrase, a shortcut for a specific word you type. So instead of typing it a lot, you type it once. Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes it might be a sentence, right? A full sentence. And then instead of writing the full sentence like so many times, you'll just name the sentence. You'll give it a name, whatever name you want, then equals, then the sentence once. And then when you want to type the full sentence, you just type print phrase. That's it, as I did here, but without the len. The len, yeah.
And that's going to be really useful as we go forward in Python.
And if you didn't get what len does, you type it this way, right? You type it in the beginning of the name you gave to the specific sentence, right? You type it before, then you type the name, and you have to open the bracket here for len, close it after, and then when you run the code, it will give you the number of letters. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. What the heck?
You can also get
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. Am I stupid or what? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. So there is 14 with the space. Which space? There is no space. Oh, yes, you're right. Wait, let's do something actually so we can make sure it's true. Yeah, okay, Ahmed, thank you so much. Oh my god.
characters.
Oh my
So
god.
imagine if I wanted to just grab one of these characters. Like imagine if I wanted to figure out what the first character in this string is. Well, I can actually use an open and closed square bracket just like that. And in here, I can specify the index of the character that I want to grab. So if I wanted to grab the first.
Wait, let's really quick remove this one. Okay. And then, yep.
Character in this string, I can put in a 0. So if I say phrase square bracket 0, this is going to give me that capital G. And you can see down here, that's what gets printed out. Now, I want to point something out. In Python, when we're working with strings, a string gets indexed starting with 0. So
Okay.
you'll notice that in order to access this G,
Yeah, so that's how you count, I guess. That's how you also count. But no, it doesn't make sense because if there are more than one space, right? And then even though you start from 0, there will still be like, no, let's say 20 minus 1 because of the 0. But what if there is many spaces? No, it's not. You have to count the spaces, actually.
0 in here. And that's because in Python, when we use indexes on a string, we start with 0. So if Python is counting the characters or it's indexing the characters in a string, it's going to start with 0. So it's going to say G is 0, I is 1, R is 2, A is 3. So we would say that G is at position 0 in the string, I is at position 1, R is at position 2, A is at position 3, etc. So we start counting at 0. So if I wanted to access the first character in the string, this G, I have to say phrase 0. And that's just a special thing in Python. And actually, most programming languages do that. So they'll start with 0. So for example, if I wanted to access this A, I'm going to have to put 0, 1, 2, 3. So if I put 3 inside of here, now we'll be able to access that first A. As you can see, we get an A right here. So this is actually really useful, being able to grab a specific character inside of a string, and you're going to be using that a lot as we go forward in Python. There's also another really awesome function that we can use, and it's called the index function. And basically what the index function will do is it'll tell us where a specific character or string is located inside of our string. So I could say phrase.index, and I can actually give this a value. So sometimes when we use these functions in Python, we can actually give them information. So I can give this a value. And we would call this passing a parameter. So I would call a value that I would give to a function a parameter. And you'll hear that word a lot. So for example, I could say inside of here, capital G, and now this is going to return the index of the capital G inside of our string. So it should give us back a 0 because
Okay. Okay. What I don't understand is how it is gonna help me. Honestly, like why would I want to know um what's the number of letter G, like what's the number of it when it comes to order, yeah.
G is the 0th index. And you'll see down here that we get a 0 because that's where G is. So for example, if I put an A inside of here, like a lowercase a, it should give me 0, 1, 2, 3, because that's where the first A is inside of this string. So I can click the play button, and you'll see it's giving us a 3. You can also put actual words in here. So for example, I could put like academy in here, or I could even just put like ACAD, and this is going to tell me where this starts inside of my string. So when I click play, it's going to give me an 8 because that's where academy starts.
Okay.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I put something in here that wasn't in the string, so for example, if I put a Z in here, that's not in here, it's actually going to throw an error. So when I play this, you'll see that we get this error down here because Z is not found inside of our program. So that index function, again, can be really useful, and we'll be using that a lot. There's also one more that I want to show you, which is called replace. So we can say phrase.replace, and in here, I can actually give this 2 parameters. So I can give this replace function 2 values that it can use. And the first thing I want to to give it is what I want to replace. So for example, I could say draft, and then I'm going to put a comma in here, and I want to put in here what I want to replace draft with. So I could just say like elephant, and now instead of saying Draft Academy, this is going to print out Elephant Academy. So you can
Damn, that's actually useful. No, what did I do?
On here, it's saying draft with. So I could just say like.
Oh, okay. Wait. Is this guy trying to give you useless info to get money or what? I mean, you have a point of view. What should you do with the position number of the letter? Nah. I honestly feel like once you get into it and you will actually have like your first project, yeah, you'll be supposed to make like, I don't know, a game or an application or whatever, you will actually find these things useful. Like you might need them, you know. You never know, because me and I mean you and I, we still don't know what it takes to make an application or something, right? But what did I do wrong? Okay. So dot replace. I have to remember this. Dot replace. So what you have to do is print, then just phrase. Instead of closing the bracket, just use dot replace. Open the bracket. Use the word you want to replace with the one you want to use, and then just close the brackets. Right? Pretty easy.
Elephant, and now instead of saying Draft Academy, this is going to print out Elephant Academy. So you can see down here it just says Elephant Academy. So this replace function can be really awesome because we can replace certain words or even certain letters inside of our strings with other ones. So those are just some basic ways that we can work with strings inside of Python. And there's a lot of these different functions that we can use with strings. These are some of the most common, the ones that I just showed you right now. But if you just do a Google search, you can find all sorts of Python functions that you can try out and use and, see what they do. But you definitely want to get comfortable working with strings in Python because you're going to be working with them a lot.
Working with numbers.
In this tutorial, I want to talk to you about working with numbers in Python. Now, numbers are one of the most common data types in Python, and any Python program you write is most likely going to be dealing with numbers at some point. So I want to talk to you guys about just the basics of using numbers. We're going to talk about the different types of numbers that we can represent in Python. And I also want to show you guys some awesome functions that we can use with numbers. So we can do certain like mathematical operations. We can do some awesome things with numbers. And I'm going to show you guys all of that in this video. It's going to be awesome. So first thing we can do is we can actually just like print out a number. So if I want to write a number in Python, it's really easy. I basically just write the number. So I could say like print 2, and this is just going to print the number 2 out onto the screen. So I can use a whole number like this. I could also use a decimal number. So I could say like 2.0987. And Python's going to be just fine with that.
Yeah.
We'll be able to print that out onto the screen as well. I can also make numbers negative. So I could make this 2.0987 a negative number, and Python will be able to handle that just fine too. In Python, we can also use basic arithmetic. So I could do things like addition, subtraction, multiplication. So I could say like 3 plus 4. And now this is going to print this out. Or why don't we say like 3 plus 4.5. And this will be able to print out the answer. So we get 7.5. And we can do addition. We could do subtraction. We could do division. Or we could do like multiplication as well. So you can pretty much do whatever you want inside of Python. And if you want to make more complex mathematical equations, we can also use things to specify order of operations. So I could use parentheses. So for example, if I said 3 times 4 plus 5, what Python's going to do is it's going to multiply 3 and 4 together. So it's going to be 12, and then we'll add 5 to that. So we should get 17. But let's say that we wanted to change up the order, right? I could actually put a parentheses around 4 and 5. And now it's going to add them first. So it'll add 4 and 5. So we'll get 9 and we'll multiply that times 3. So we should end up with 27. So you can see we can use those parentheses to specify order of operation. So I could make like a very complex little equation here just by
Okay.
using numbers and parentheses. We can also use one other operation, which is called the modulus operator. So I could say like 10 and use this percent sign 3. And this is actually read 10 mod 3. And basically what this is going to do is it's going to take the first number, divide it by the second number, and it's going to spit out the remainder. So it's basically going to say, okay, 10 divided by 3, that's going to be 3 with a remainder of 1. And so this is going to give us the remainder. It's going to spit out the remainder. We can also use one other operation, which is called the modulus operator. Like 10 and use this percent sign 3. And this is actually read 10 mod 3. And basically what this is going to do is it's going to take the first number, divide it by the second number.
Yeah, it's just like a calculator. Yeah.
And it's going to spit out the remainder.
Of course, man, you're talking to the computer. What do you mean? It's basically the computer. It's exactly the same thing as the calculator. That's why they even say the computer is never wrong. Like, if there is something wrong with my code, right? And then I'll be like, oh my god, there is nothing wrong. I'm sure I did everything correct. No, there will be something wrong. The computer knows better.
So it's basically going to say, okay, 10 divided by 3, that's going to be 3 with a remainder of 1. And so this is going to give us the remainder. And you'll see down here we get 1 because that's the remainder of 10 divided by 3. And that modulus operator can come in handy quite a bit. We can also store these numbers inside of variables. So we can store them inside of these variable containers.
So wait. Okay.
So I could come over here and I could create a variable called like my underscore num, and we'll just store a value of, let's say, like 5 in here. And so I could come down here and I can just print out my underscore num, and we'll be able to print that number out to the screen just fine. So in addition to doing things like basic arithmetic, we can also do some other stuff. So one thing I could do is I could actually convert this number into a string. So if I wanted to convert this number into a string, I can just say str, and I can put the number that I
str
inside of these parentheses.
So what's going to
happen now is this number is going to be converted into a string. So when I click the run button,
isn't there a setting that can automatically figure out the mistake you make by reading the code by line? Now, if you do something wrong, if there will be something wrong in your code, then it will mention, right? Like, wait, let's say I want to put a bracket here, right? It will come as wrong. And they're saying line 3. Yeah, so it's easy for you to just go check line 3, what you did wrong in line 3. But of course they won't do it for you. They won't fix the issue for you. They'll just tell you line 3, then you have to go back to line 3 and check what is the mistake. Here there is no bracket, so you put the bracket and it works.
And you'll see it's just printing out 5, but now instead of being a number, this is actually a string. And this is going to come in handy when you want to print out numbers alongside strings. So I can come over here and I can say like my favorite number, and we'll be able to print this number along with this string. So I can click play and it says 5, my favorite number. If I was to convert this number into a string, I can just say str, and I can put the number that I want to convert inside of these parentheses. And so what's going to happen now is this number is going to be converted into a string. So when I click the run button, you'll see it's just printing out 5, but now instead of being a number, this is actually a string. And
okay, it's good. It's even better than expression. Yeah, exactly. It's way better than expression, of course.
This is going to come in handy when you want to print out numbers alongside strings. So I can come over here and I can say like my favorite number, and we'll be able to print this number along with this string. So I can click play, and it says 5, my favorite number. If I was to get rid of this string right here, and I wasn't converting the number into a string, now
5 my favorite number. Yep, perfect.
Python's going to have a problem with this. It's not going to allow us to do that. You can see we get an error. So anytime you want to
Okay, you need the brackets, right?
print out here, and I wasn't converting it into a string, now Python's going to have a problem with this. It's not going to allow us to do that. You can see we get an error. So anytime you want to print out a number next to a string, you got to make sure that you use that little string function. So there's a bunch of other stuff that we can do with numbers, and a lot of times in Python, you're going to want to be using specific, like more advanced math operators. So there's a bunch of different math functions that we can use on our numbers. And a function is basically just like a little collection of code that does something. So a function could perform an operation like a mathematical operation on our number. It could also give us information about our number. So I'm going to show you guys some of the most common functions that you'll be using in Python related to numbers. The first one is called ABS, and it stands for absolute value. So we can get the absolute value of a number. And so over here, I'm just going to make this variable -5. And basically, I can just say ABS, and I can make an open and close parentheses over here. And this is going to give me the absolute value of this number up here. So when I click the play button, you'll see it's just giving us 5 because 5 is the absolute value of -5. I can use a few other functions.
Absolute value.
5. And basically, I can just say ABS, and I can make it this most common functions that you'll be using in Python related to numbers. The first one is called ABS, and it stands for absolute value. So we can get the absolute value of a number. And so over here, I'm just going to make this variable -5. And basically, I can just say ABS, and I can make an open and close parentheses over here. And this is going to give me the absolute value of this number up here. So when I click the play button, you'll see it's just giving us 5 because 5 is the absolute value of -5. I can use a few other functions. There's another one which is called POW. So it's just POW. And I'm actually not going to use this variable. We just use a normal number. And this function is going to allow us to pass it 2 pieces of information. So I can give this function 2 pieces of information. The first is going to be like a number, and the second is going to be the power that I want to take that number to. So I could say like 3, 2, and this is basically
Mm, 3, 2. Absolute value, that means if the number is with the decimal number, this means it shows the exact number but not the number near to it. No, I guess it's absolute number. Wait, let's actually try. Wait. Abs my number, and let's try like a decimal number, 3.5. No, it means if it's a negative number, then it will be positive. See, if we put -3.5, right, and then we run, it will still come 3.5. So if it's negative, it will come as positive number. I was confused as well.
basically just going to be 3 raised to the power of 2. So it's just going to be 3 squared. So we should get 9 down here. You can see that we
3, 2, and now that's not a comma. Okay, and he gets 9. What's 9?
2, and this is basically just going to be 3 raised to the power of 2.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
3 squared. So we should get 9 down here. You can see that we do. So I could pass in like, some crazy number, like we could pass in a 4, and we could raise it to the power of 6. And so we should get like a pretty big number here.
Oh my god, no way. Oh, so he gives the pure from form of the number. He doesn't care whether it's... Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Bro, my connection, man. Oh my god. The stream is still working fine, right? Because I don't know what's happening to the video. Let me quickly refresh. Hello.
Project.
Oh my god, that's what I was wondering. Oh my god. I feel like it's not because of the internet connection, but I've got so many monitors connected to my laptop, which is not like a very good laptop. There is my, like, the main monitor, this one, right? Then the video is on my second monitor, and then I have the TV connected as well, which I can see the chat on, and the app I'm using for streaming. There is so many things connected to the laptop right now.
For us. All right, so now we have our Python project up and running, and I want to show you guys how we can create our first Python program.
Bro, I just realized there was Romanian subtitles. Oh my god. No needs Romanian subtitles.
So over here in this draft folder, and this is
I'm sorry, you guys are not telling me, you guys. Oh my god, Ahmed.
Project that we created. I'm just gonna right click and I'm gonna say new, and I'm gonna come down and click Python file. So we want to create a new Python file. This will be our first Python program, and I can just give this a...
Wait. Oh my god, no way. Working with numbers. We were somewhere here, right?
My favorite number. And guys, but in order to get absolute value of a number, and so over here I'm just gonna make this
Oh my god.
because 5 is the absolute value of -5. So give this function the second comma 2, and we can see we can number other function which is called...
Yeah, perfect.
So I can say max, and with this...
Now let's see what Max is gonna do. Oh my god. Max, okay.
It's basically gonna return the larger of the two numbers that we pass into it. So right now I'm giving this...
So you're connecting on HDMI from the laptop to the monitor, then from the monitor to another monitor, then from this monitor to... Nah. I only have 3 monitors, and one of them is my TV basically. So I've connected and you're complaining that it is lagging. There is 2 HDMI cables which are connected. They're both connected to the laptop, and one of them goes to the TV, one of them goes to the main monitor. So both are connected straight to the laptop.
This a 4 and a 6, and this should tell us which number is higher. So over here it's just printing out 6 because that's the bigger number. I can also use another function called min, and this is going to do the...
That's easy, that's easy.
Instead of printing out the max number, it's going to print out the smallest number, and it's going to print out 4 down here, as you can see. Another cool function is called the round function, and this is going to allow us to round a number. So it's just going to follow like standard rounding rules. So if I said like 3.2 inside of here, now it's going to round it down to just normal 3. But if I said like 3.7, it's going to round it up to 4. So that'll allow you to round a number. So there's a few other functions that I want to show you guys, but in order to get access to them, I'm actually going to have to do something called importing. And
thank God it didn't lag from the beginning of the stream. Yeah. Nah, it won't be like that.
In Python, we can actually import external code into our files. And so if I want to access these specific math functions,
I want to check real quick, because at some point we're going to create building a basic calculator, which I don't think is gonna be hard, but then calculator, and then know what this is. Functions, return statement, if statement, building a better calculator. Okay, building a guessing game, building a translator. Damn, it's gonna be interesting, right? This round is same, like, yeah, it's, most of them are the same. There's so many, they're similar to each other. Round up and round, yeah. There is actually many formulas that we had used in Excel, and you have to use them in Python as well. There is many.
Something called Python math. So I can just say from up here math.
But I still find Excel more complicated than Python. I mean, when it comes to formulas and stuff. And I guess it is.
Import and this star. And basically what this is going to do is it's going to go out and it's going to grab a bunch of different math functions that we can use. So I already showed you guys a few of these different math functions, but there's actually a bunch more. And in order to access them, we're going to need to include this line of code inside of our file. So once we have that, now I can access a few others. So there's another function which is called the floor method, and it's just floor. And what this will do is it'll basically just grab the lowest number. So it's essentially just going to chop off this decimal point. And you can see over here now we get a 3 because we're using that floor function.
They teach functions of computer science in college in Excel. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Import, what the heck? And then star, and that's gonna make it. I didn't get what this thing is, but I'll double check.
There's also a function that we can do is it's something called Python math. So I can just say from up here math.
Oh, okay.
And this star. And basically what this is going to do is it's going to go out and it's going to grab a bunch of different math functions that we can use. So I already showed you guys a few of these different math functions, but there's actually a bunch more. And in order to access them, we're going to need to include this line of code inside of our file. So once we have that, now I can access a few others. So there's another function which is called...
By the way, did you... No. And I don't even know how you got it since you didn't go to school. Was it on the portal and what? Or what? Anyways, I won't go for the trip. I won't come.
Called the floor method, and it's just floor. And what this will do is it'll basically just grab the lowest number. So it's essentially just going to chop off this decimal point. And you can see over here now we get a 3 because we're using that floor function. There's also another one called...
I went to Quest before, bro.
Seal, and that's just going to do the exact opposite. So that's just going to round the number up no matter what. So no matter what, we'll always get 4 if we have a 3 point whatever here. What number OOR. And what this will do is it'll basically just grab the lowest number. So it's essentially just going to chop off this decimal point. And you can see over here now we get a 3 because we're using that floor function. There's also another one called seal, and that's just going to do the exact opposite. So
how much is it? It's 300 per person, I guess, right? And then if you go, it's cheaper. How will it be cheaper?
That's just going to round the number up no matter what. So no matter what, we'll always get 4 if we have a 3 point whatever here. And there's another one which is called square root. So it's just SQRT.
Wait.
Lowest number. So it's essentially just going to chop off this decimal point.
Oh, okay.
And you can see over here now we get a 3 because we're using that floor function. There's also another...
Oh, okay. Anyways, enjoy, guys. I won't be there.
One called seal, and that's just going to do the exact opposite. So that's just going to round the number up no matter what. So no matter what, we'll always get 4 if we have a 3 point whatever here. And there's another one which is called square root. So it's just SQRT. And essentially, this is just going to return the square opposite. So that's just going to round the number up no matter what. So no matter what, we'll always get 4 if we have a 3 point whatever here. And there's another one which is called square root. So it's just SQRT. And essentially, this is just going to return the square root of a number. So I could say like 36, and now we should get 6 back. So those are all some very interesting functions. And inside of this math module, so we would call this a module. And you don't have to worry too much about what that is right now. Just know that when we put this line of code into our program, it gives us access to a lot more math functions. So it basically allows us to do a lot more things with math inside of our program. And there's a bunch of different math functions in Python. And if you want, you can basically just go online and search for different math functions. I showed you guys a few here, and I would say the ones that we looked at here are probably the most commonly used, but there's a bunch more.
Yeah, of course, there is a bunch more, of course.
Like I said, there's tons of documentation on all of this stuff. So you can just look up, math functions in Python, and there's going to be tons and tons, like lists of these things that you can use inside of your programs to perform different math operations. But for now, that's just been a little bit about using numbers, a little bit about doing, certain math operations and using functions with those numbers.
So you've got some knowledge,
Oh my god.
experience, perhaps even interest in data analytics, but you don't know how to take
numbers.
Getting input from users. Let's see.
I'm going to show you how to get input from a user. So we're basically going to allow a user to input information into our program. And I'm actually going to take the information that the user inputs, I'm going to store it inside of a variable, and then we're going to be able to do something with that variable. So I want to show you guys how we can actually go about getting input from someone. And down here in my Python file,
I swear to God, I was thinking about the same thing. I was seeing Mr. Andrew.
All I have to do to get input from someone is I just have to type out input and then an open and closed parentheses. And what this is basically going to do is it's going to tell Python like, hey, we want to get input from a user, and Python will allow the user to type in some information. And inside of these parentheses, we can actually type a prompt. And so generally when we want the user to enter in some information, we want to tell them what we want them to enter. And that's what we can put inside of here. So I'm just going to say, enter your name. So we're actually going to create a little Python app which is going to allow the user to enter in their name, and then we'll store the name inside of a variable, and then we'll basically just say hi to the user. So we'll say like hi, and then whatever the name they entered was. So what I want to do is I actually want to store whatever the user inputted into our program inside of a variable. So I can actually go over here and I can create a variable. I could just call it name, and I could set this variable equal to input. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking the value that the user inputs and I'm storing it inside of this variable container called name. And so now I have access to whatever they entered inside of a variable.
Oh, okay.
So I can actually go over here and I can create a variable. I could just call it name, and I could set this variable equal to input. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking the value that the user inputs and I'm storing it inside of this variable container called name. And so now I have access to whatever they entered in. So what we can do is we can say print, and inside of the parentheses I can just print out hello, and then I'm just going to add on to this name. And actually, why don't we put an exclamation point? So essentially we're getting a name
Hello.
from the user. We're storing
Blood, I'll go bring something to eat and drink. No worries, Ahmed, no worries. Okay, so after hello, we will add, yeah, plus name, plus, okay, that should make it right. Let's see. So if I type in my name, oh, hello, plus name plus, then there should be space here. Now if I type in Vlad, hello Vlad, yep.
It inside of the name variable, and I'm printing it out onto the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and play this, and when we run the program, you'll notice down here Python is giving us this little prompt. So it's saying enter your name. And now in here I can actually type in a value. So I could type in Mike, and then I can just hit enter, and Python's going to go ahead, store this value inside of that variable, and then it's going to print out hello Mike. And so this is kind of cool, and actually what we could do is we could prompt the user to enter in more than one piece of information. So I could actually copy this line of code, and I'm going to paste it below here, and why don't we have the user enter in another variable? So we could have them enter in, for example, their age. And over here, we just want to say enter your age. And so now we're able to get two pieces of information from the user, and I could say
enter your age. Okay, delete this. Yeah. So now enter your name, then you type in your name, enter your age.
say hello name, and then I can say you are, and I'll print out their age. So I'm just going to print
You are plus age. Then I have to type in my age, hello Vlad, and then plus wait, yeah, exactly, age, let me do something, plus yeah, 17. You are 17, yep. Let's go to the next point.
age. So now I'm basically able to get both of these pieces of information from the user. I can get their name and I can get their age. So when we run this program, I can type in both of those pieces of information. So it'll say enter your name. So we could just make up a name like John, and then enter the age. Let's say John is 25. And now it's going to say, hello John, you are 25. So the program is able to get input from the user, and then it's able to use that information in order to say hi to the user and tell them how old they are. And so getting input from the user is a great way to make your programs more interactive. And here we're just scratching the surface, right? We're just basically getting two, piece of information from the user, but you can use these inputs to do awesome things in Python. And as we go through this course, you're going to see some really cool things that we can do with these inputs.
Clearly. Oh my god, yes, that's what I want to do. Actually, what I want to do is where is it? No, but at some point we'll create like some kind of game. Oops. Back. Welcome.
So I'm going to show you how to build a very basic calculator in Python. We're basically going to build a calculator where we'll get two numbers from a user, and then we'll add those numbers together and print the answer out onto the screen.
No, not really. Here it comes the interesting part. We'll be making like some kind of calculator.
So this will give us some practice in getting input from users. We'll also talk about getting numbers from users as opposed to just strings. So I'm really excited to get started on this calculator. The first thing we want to do is create two variables, and inside of those variables, we want to store the two numbers that the user wants to add together. So down here, I'm just going to say num1, and that's what we'll call our first variable, is equal to, and now I need to get input from the user. So I'm going to say input,
Input,
and
yes.
parentheses, I'm going to say enter a number.
So,
Now I
number.
basically want to do the same exact thing, but for the second number.
Yep.
So we'll paste this guy
Num2
and
equals
we'll say
input.
num2, and then we'll just say enter another number. So now we're able
Where
to
is
put
it?
the user's
Okay.
input inside of these two variables. So now all I want to do is just print out the result. So I'm actually going to create a variable called result. So I'm just going to say result is equal to, and basically we just want to add these two numbers together. So I'm going to say num1 plus num2. And now all we have to do is just print out the result. So I'm just going to print result. So we basically have our entire program written out here, and this will allow us to enter in two numbers, and then we'll add them together and print out the answer. So I'm going to click play.
Okay, let's see. Enter a number, right? So we'll no, just any random number. 10. Enter another number. 10. And then the answer is 10. That's right.
And down here we can enter our number. So I'm going to enter the first number. We'll say 5. And I'm going to enter my second number. So let's say 8.0. Or let's say 8.3. So now it should print out the answer. But if you look over here, that's not quite the answer we were looking for, right?
Huh? Wait. 5. 8.3. No, that's clearly not the answer.
5 plus 8.3 is definitely not 58.3. And here's what happened. When we get input from a user, by default, Python is just going to convert it into a string. So it doesn't matter what we put down there when we're entering the numbers. Python's always just going to be like, okay, this is a string, that's it. Sounds good, right? It's just going to make it a string. In order for us to make these num1 and num2 variables numbers, we're actually going to have to convert the strings that we get from the user into numbers. And so the way that we can do that is
Oh. I still don't get it. So we have 5 and we have, let's say, 8.3, and then the answer is 8.3. But then, no, sorry. We have 2, then we have 2. The answer is 2. But the first time we did it, yeah, it was 10 and 10, right? And then the answer was, oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. 10. The answer is 10. Okay.
is by basically just coming over here, and when we add the two numbers together, I can use a special Python function in order to convert those strings into numbers. And there's actually two Python functions that we could use for this. The first is called int. So I could say int, I can make an open parentheses, and I can make a close parentheses. And basically what this is going to do is it's going to convert whatever is inside of these open and closed parentheses
Into a number.
integer number.
Yeah.
And an integer number is basically a whole number. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a whole number.
Oops.
In other words, it can't have a decimal point. And so what I could do is I could say int, and I could put these inside of parentheses. And now what this is going to do is it's going to convert both of these numbers into integers. In other words, into whole numbers that don't have decimals, and it's going to add them together and we'll print out the result. So why don't we do that?
Okay.
And we'll just see if this works. So I'm going to click the play button, and down here we'll enter our first number. So I'm just enter in a 5, and now you can see it's printing out the correct answer, 4 plus 5. And so that's essentially our basic calculator. But we do have one problem with this calculator. So I'm going to run it again and I'll show you guys what that problem is. If I wanted to add in a decimal number, so we'll add 4.3 and 5.5, you'll see that we're getting this error. And that's because I'm using this int function up here. And this int function is looking
For a whole number.
So if I put decimal numbers inside of there, it's going to break the program. There's another function we can use. Instead of an int, we can say float. And a float is basically just a number that has decimal. So it's a decimal number. So I can convert both of these guys into floats. And now I'll be able to use decimal numbers. So I can click play.
Yeah, okay, you'll be able to use decimal numbers, but what if you use whole numbers then? Wait, I actually want to try. Okay, so float is for using decimal numbers, right? But then if you use like a whole number, which is like 10, yeah? Then again 10. Oh, okay, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Let's try with 3.5 and no, 9.5, which will be 13.0, yeah.
And I can just enter in some numbers. So I could say like 4, and I could also say like 5.5. And now it's going to be able to add both of those numbers, even if one of them's a decimal. And that's the beauty of using that little float function. So
Ahmed, I will explain everything. So basically, if you're still here, what you have to do first is install the Python, like the actual application, okay? Which you're not actually going to use. You're going to use PyCharm, but then you need to have this in your PC, right? So first install Python, go to python.com, install Python, then install PyCharm, and this is basically the software you're going to work in, but you need to have Python first, okay?
in certain circumstances, you might want the user to only be able to enter in an integer, so a whole number. But in a lot of cases, like in this calculator, we want them to be able to enter any number that they want. So we're going to use this float.
1 second. Going to your working, but yeah, my mom is telling me she can't hear me, but
Function. So I'm just going to recap
it's working.
one more time. We created two variables, num1 and num2, and we basically stored the two numbers that the users inputted into those variables. And then we converted them into numbers, and we added them together, and we printed out the results. So this is a pretty cool calculator. I'm happy with it. Hopefully you guys learned something. And as we go forward in this Python course, you're going to learn all sorts of ways that we can make this calculator more complex.
Before going to the next step, there is something I have to do. I will just delete. Wait for a few seconds so that you guys won't say that I remembered. I had it in my mind and I knew how to do it. I want to test myself and see if I'm actually memorizing something or it's for no reason. So let's start doing it again. I want to actually see if I can do it. 1 second. Okay. So num1 is gonna be input. What was it? Yeah. Enter a number, right? Then copy, type in num2, paste. Okay, then result equals float num1 plus load num2. That's it, I guess. Yeah, enter number 2.5, 1.2. Yeah, that's it. Enter. Huh? Oh, okay. Oh my god. Then print result. Okay, fine.
Have you ever
Oh
wondered
my
how
god.
to move the world around you using technology? Thanks to IU's computer.
In this tutorial, I want to show you guys how to build a Mad Libs game in Python. So a Mad Libs game is basically just a game where you can enter in a bunch of random words, so like, verbs, nouns, names, colors, and you basically take all of those words and put them into a story randomly. So over here, my web browser, I just have an example of a Mad Libs. So, down here, we're basically just taking random words like an adjective or a noun or a plural noun and entering them inside of a story. So like you read through the story and then like some random word pops up. And Mad Libs can be pretty fun, and I'm sure you guys have, at least heard of Mad Libs before. But if not, that was just a little introduction. So I want to create a Mad Libs in Python, and this is going to be really cool. So down here I have this like little poem. It just says, "Roses are red, violets
Okay.
are blue, I love you."
Let's
This is kind of like a
quickly
classic poem,
copy.
but I think we should mix it up a little bit and create a Mad Lib for this poem.
Roses
And so instead of having this
are
red
red.
color over here, I want to have the user enter in their own color.
Now wait. Let me first copy. Print violets are blue. Then print I love you. Yeah. Nice.
Instead of having violets, why don't we have them enter in a plural noun? And instead of saying I love you, why don't we have them say I love and then some celebrity. So celebrity. So this is the basic.
Oh, okay. Oops. So space, color, and then here space, celebrity. Okay. Oh. Wait. There has to be something more.
For our little Mad Lib, right? I want to basically have the user enter in a color, enter in a plural noun, and enter
Plural noun.
in a celebrity, and then I'll take all of those words and put them inside of our Mad Lib, and hopefully we end up with something that's pretty funny. So how can we actually go about building this in Python? Well, the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to be able to get these words from the user, right? That's pretty obvious. So I think what we should do is we should create 3 variables called color, plural noun, and celebrity.
Yep.
We'll store the user's input.
Let's see. So first of all, color, right? Then input. Wait. Yeah, input. Let's see if I can do it myself. I should be able to do it myself by now. It's pretty the same thing we did just now. Mostly I mean. Enter a color, right? You might choose to use some different way of saying this, like enter a, I don't know, complete with a word or something, I don't know, but I'll be using this. And then let's see, plural noun, right, equals input bracket enter plural noun, let's say, just like that. Okay, then wait, there is actually something I didn't do and you guys will be thinking I'm stupid, since I did this so many times till now and I still don't know how to do it. But I have to use quotation marks as well. Now again, quotation marks here. Okay, and then one more for celebrity, right? Then input bracket, oh my god, okay, enter with a celebrity, with enter, let's say complete with a celebrity name, so we'll make it sound better, right? Name. Okay, I guess it has to be fine. I mean, it should be fine. Okay, then let's see. No, something is wrong. Print.
Puts inside of those variables. So up here, let's create those variables. The first variable.
Oh my god. Oh my god. No way I did this. Still it's wrong. Let me check myself what I did. Input, right? Okay, let's see.
We'll say color, and I want to set this equal to the input. So I'm going to say input, and inside of here, I'm just going to give them a prompt. So I'll say enter a color.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can basically just copy this line of code, and I'm going to paste it down below, and we'll paste one more time.
We don't need the dots, so we'll quickly delete.
So now we're going to create our plural noun variable. So I'll say plurao, plural noun, and we'll just say enter a plural noun.
Oh my god.
And actually over here, I want to make a colon as well. So then finally, we'll create our.
Don't tell me this was the mistake.
Enter a
oh my god, it was all correct, just the underscore. Enter a color, let's say red, yeah. I mean, oh my god. I really didn't know how to download Python. You weren't here when I told you? Red. Plural noun. Flower. Noun is, yeah, flowers. Then complete with the celebrity name, Ahmed. Roses are red color. What the heck?
And so now basically we're creating three variables called color, plural.
There is still something I have to do. I was, but explain more. I will look at YouTube later. Okay, fine. I will do it for you. Okay. Wait. Let me do it for you real quick. It's actually more complicated since I have all these screens, man. But wait. Okay, so you go to Python. Oh, it's python.org, right? You go to python.org. Then, yeah, my internet connection again. Is it? Then you wait. Oh my god, come on. Nah, it's not working right now. I don't know why. It's actually so easy. Or there is another way I can show you. Let me just fix this real quick. Okay. One second. Yeah, perfect. Okay. There is another way I can show you. Just do one thing. Go to the description, right? And then there will be a link in the description. It's the link from this video, the video I'm watching right now. And then the first step is showing you is how to install Python and PyCharm, as you can see, right? So just do this, yeah. Let's go back to it.
Celebrity, and inside of them we're storing the color that the user enters, the plural noun the user enters, and the celebrity the user enters. So the last thing we have to do is replace these guys with those variables. So I'm basically just going to add in the color over here, and we're gonna add in the plural noun. So I can just go like this.
Oh, I got it. Roses are, and then there will be quotation marks over here. Then here we will be supposed to type plus, then color, right? Now we go to the second one and do the same thing, but my mouse is fucked up. Yeah. Okay. Then plural noun plus. Then plus wait. Plus celebrity. Okay, let's see. Enter a color, red. Enter a plural noun, flowers. Complete with the celebrity name, Justin Bieber. Ah, no way, this came up to my mind, but I love you, Justin Bieber. Oh my god, no. Flowers. Blood. Yeah, thank you. Roses are red, flowers are blue. I love you, Vlad. Thank you so much. So cute, right? Hmm. Mm. So basically what we did by using the input command, which is pretty easy, yeah. Enter a color, enter plural noun, complete with a celebrity name. That's easy. Okay, let's go to the next step.
And finally, we'll just add in that celebrity. So now we have a pretty cool Madlib, and it should be functional. Everything should work. It looks like it's good to go. So let's come over here and we'll run our program. And then down here in the console, we can play our little Madlibs game. So let's say enter a color. I'm just going to say magenta. Enter a plural noun. Why don't we say microwaves? And enter a celebrity. Let's say Tom Hanks. So when I click enter, what should happen is we should get our Madlibs printed out. So I'm going to click enter. And now we have our Madlib. So it says roses are magenta,
Cool, cool, cool.
microwaves are blue. I love Tom Hanks. So it's a pretty good Madlib. And obviously, you know, the more print statements we put over here, you know, the better the Madlib could be. And we could store as many, you know, variables up here as we wanted. This was just a very simple Madlib. We only took in 3 inputs, but you know, you could see how you could take something like this.
Oh. What did I do? Oh my god. I have no idea what just happened. Yeah, exactly. Just let me go back to it. To the video, I mean. What is happening? Okay. By the time this thing comes back to life, I will try to do this thing again by myself. Even though I don't think so, I don't think I'll be able to. Let me have a look. So we need to start with this one, right? Oh my god, I forgot how it was already. Page unresponsive. Wait. Okay, well, I'll do something else now. How about this? I don't think it's my internet connection since the stream is still working fine. I don't know what's wrong, honestly. Oh my god. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for working.
Take something like this and create a little Madlibs game. So your homework for this lesson is to go off and make your own Madlibs game. Hopefully one that's a little bit funnier than mine. But that's the basics of...
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. So I got the homework as well now. But I'll honestly actually go back. And then basically what I have to do is type no Python interpreter configured for the project. Oh my god, again this thing. Thank you. Okay. So fine. Let's see what I can do. Actually, I'll first print this, type this thing down so I can remember, because there is actually a few things I have to remember, right? Or let's not cheat. So print, we'll start with violets are blue, right? No, roses are red. Forgot the quotation marks. Okay. Then color. Print brackets violets are blue. Color. Okay. Then print I love you, and celebrity, right? Celebrity. Okay. Now what we have to do is bring this a bit down, and then, as I remember, give a name for all the variables, right? Which will be color equals input, okay, which will be enter color, no, with no dots, then violet, no, again color, right? No, it will be plural noun, because I did something wrong here. Plural noun are blue. This thing, bring it back, I guess. Or color, I love you. Okay. Then plural noun equals input, enter a plural noun, celebrity equals input bracket, enter a celebrity name. Oh my god, I forgot the quotation marks. And then now if we enter a color, red, flowers, blood, roses are okay. So now what we have to do is R plus color, then here delete this thing, color plus, okay, I love you, then delete celebrity, right? Then add a plus and type in What? Celebrity, right? Yeah, perfect. Should be fine, right? So if this thing works, I basically did it by myself, all of it. Which is not like something wow, but still. What did I do? What did I do? Okay. This thing is a little bit complicated. No, it's not, bro. I mean, it might be complicated for you since you're the one watching, but me, since I did it once. Let's see. Enter a color, right? Red. Flowers. Name Ahmed. I love you, celebrity. This thing is still not correct. Enter. What did I do wrong? Roses are red. Roses are red. Okay, I got it. Plural. Noun. Then I love you plus, no need quotation marks. They should be fine now. Red flowers. Then Ahmed. Yep. That's how it has to be. Oh my god, I've been streaming for 2 hours and a half now, almost 3. I'll keep going till I hit 3 hours, and I guess that's gonna be it, because I thought I'll finish the whole course today, but I'm streaming for 3 hours and I only did 1 hour, like not even a half of the course. So doing all of it means staying up all night. I'll keep going till I hit 3 hours and then I'll go to sleep and maybe continue tomorrow or something.
Plural noun, so I can just go like this. And finally, we'll just add in that celebrity. So now we have a pretty cool Madlib, and it should be functional. Everything should work. It looks like it's good to go. So let's come over here and we'll run our program. And then down here in the console, we can play our little Madlibs game. So let's say enter a color. I'm just going to say magenta.
I did everything already, bro.
Take someplace to go. That's
okay. Next topic. Next step.
this tutorial, I want to talk to you guys about working with lists in Python. A lot of times when you're programming in Python, you're going to be
By the way, Ahmed, I'll be doing something, right? Wait. Oh my god, what did I do? No. What did I do? Oh my god. What am I doing? Oh my god. How do I remove it? Oh my god, Ahmed, what did I do? Try typing something. 300 seconds, 600 seconds comes what? Oh my god, that's so much time. Let me check. 600 seconds in minutes. That's 10 minutes, bro. I'm so stupid. I wanted to give you a moderator, but anyways, once it's done, you'll be having the moderator, and you'll be. I want you to have it since you've been here with me since I've started the stream. I thought I should give you the role. Let me check something and then we'll go to the next step, right? Okay. Yeah, perfect.
Dealing with large amounts of data. And when you're dealing with large amounts of data, you want to make sure that you can manage it and organize it properly. And a list is essentially just a structure that we can use inside of Python to store lists of information. So we can take a bunch of different data values, we can put them inside a list, and it allows us to organize them and keep track of them a lot easier. So generally you would create a Python list and you would put a bunch of related values inside of that list, and then you can use it throughout your program. So I'm going to show you guys just the basics of using lists. We're going to look at some of the common use cases and really just get you up to speed with what lists are and why they're useful. So over here in my program, I'm actually going to create a list, and we create a list a lot like we create a Python, just like a normal Python variable. So the first thing we want to do when we're making a list is give it a name. So we want to give it a descriptive name, something that's going to basically describe what's inside the list. In my case, for this example, let's make a list of like friends. So we could say like, here's a list of all my friends. So I can say friends, and I'm going to set this equal to the list of values that represent my friends. And when we want to create a list, we can use these open and closed square brackets. So whenever you use these open and closed square brackets, Python basically knows, okay, they want to store a bunch of values inside of this list. So why don't we go ahead and start adding some values? So we can say like my friends are like Kevin, Karen, and let's say Jim. So here I have 3 values.
Okay. Kevin, Karen, and Miss Karen. Oh my god. Jim. No, wait. Better, yeah.
Values inside of my friends array. So when we're creating a normal variable in Python, generally we just give it one value, right? So I would create a variable, I would give it one value, maybe a string or a number or a Boolean. But when we make lists, we're able to store multiple values inside of the same like little item, inside of the same object, right? And then what I can do is I can access these individual items inside of my program. So inside of this friends list, we're basically storing all of these different values, and that can be really useful. So now that we've stored some values, let's talk about what you can put inside of a list. So you can really put any piece of information in Python. We could put things like strings, numbers, or booleans. So if I wanted, instead of just putting strings here, I could change like one of these to a number, and I could change one of these to a boolean, and it wouldn't matter. Python's going to be fine with that. But let's change this back to strings just for the sake of the example. So now that we've created our list, how can we access individual elements inside of this list? It's a good question. I'm going to go ahead and print something out to the screen. The first thing we can do is we can just print out the actual list. So I can just say print friends, and then when I run this program, if we look down here in the console, you can see it's just printing out the actual list of friends, right? But let's say that I wanted to print out a specific element inside of this list.
Oh my god, is it over? It's been 10 minutes already? I'm actually sorry, bro. I wanted to give you the moderator role.
Well, I can actually refer to elements by their index. So each one of the elements inside of this list has a particular index. And the indexes actually start at 0. So we would say that this first element in the list, Kevin, has an index of 0. We would say that this other element, Karen, has an index of 1. And this third element, Jim, would have an index of
Friends. Fine.
So even though gym is technically the third element inside of the list, it has an index of 2. And that's because we start indexing
Yeah.
at index position 1. And so that's just kind of how lists work, and that's how list indexes work. So if I wanted to access a specific element inside of my friends list, I can just refer to it by its index. So over here, after we type out friends, I'm just going to type an open and closed square bracket. And inside of this open and closed square bracket, I want to put the index of the element inside the list that I want to access. So if I wanted to access this guy right here, this element,
1 0.
0.
Yeah.
So I can say friends 0, and now when I run my program, it's just going to print out that value. It's just going to print out Kevin. If I wanted to access this gym value over here,
2.
I can put a 2, and that will give us that gym value. You can see.
Okay.
So we can access elements based off of their index. We can also access elements based off of their index from the back of the list. So for example, if I said -1 inside of here, this is going to give me access to this value right here for gym. And
-1 will be gym Y.
It starts indexing from the back of the list. So if I said -2,
Minus.
this is going to give us Karen. And so you can use the negatives to access items at the back.
So this is, oh, okay, and this will always be 0, okay? I guess. Let's see. So -2 will be, oh, -2 will be Karen, right? And then what if we type in -3? It won't be Kevin because that's 0. Oh, okay. So when you start from here, it's 0, 1, 2, but when you start from here, it's -1, -2, -3. It makes no sense, but yeah.
The list. Just keep in mind though, and this is kind of interesting. We would say this first element here.
No, it does make sense because you can't say -0. I'm so stupid. Oh my god, it does make sense.
Right, but we would say the first element at the back of the list is index position -1. So just keep that in mind. So there's actually other ways that we can access like just portions of this list. So for example, let's say I just wanted to select the last 2 elements in this list and I didn't want to select.
It will be 1 and 2.
Like the first one. Well, in here I can just say 1
And
with a colon.
yeah, oh, okay.
And this will grab the element at index position 1 and all of the elements after that. So now
Oh,
we should just
okay.
grab Jim and Karen.
Okay.
Or Karen and Jim in that order. I could also specify a range.
But what I don't understand is why he used this kind of brackets. Because they will show up if you use this kind of brackets, right? But if you use this kind of brackets, I mean normal brackets, it won't show up. It will show up. It will show up. Wait, how do you do so it won't show up? Print. Oh my god, you don't have to put brackets, that's it. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. How do I do so I won't... Oh, wait. How do I do so so it won't show the brackets? Anyways, let's see. Maybe he will mention it.
So actually, let me add in a couple other elements just so that we can illustrate this better. So I'll add in 2 more names.
Toby,
So
what
if I
kind of
wanted
name
to,
is
I
that?
could select like the element at index position 1 up to the element at index position 3. So it's going to grab this one, so that's 1, 2, and it's actually not going to grab the third one. So it's going to grab all the elements up to but not including 3. So it'll grab Karen and Jim. So let's go ahead and run this, and you can see it grabs Karen and Jim. So you can
Karen and Jim. That's 1 and 3. And he is using... Okay. Karen and Jim. What if you don't type in the 3? Then it will be all... Karen. Oh, wait. Okay. Let's add a few more names. No. Ahmed. Then one more. load. Okay, and then we won't type anything in here, and yeah, it's showing all of them.
You can either just put like one with a colon after it, and then it'll grab that index position and everything after it, or you can specify like a range that you want to grab from. So that's how we can access elements inside of this list, but we can also modify elements. So for example, I could come down here. Let's say I want to modify this value right here, Karen. Well, all I have to do is just access that element. So I could say friends and Karen is at index position 1. And I could change this to whatever I want. So I could say friends index position 1 is equal to Mike. And now when we print out friends index position 1, that value is going to be updated. So it's just going to say.
Oh, okay. But what's the point of doing this? Like, type everything friends 1 equals Mike when you can just go in here and modify it. Because if you go in here, right, and you just type in Mike, and then yeah, it will come as Mike. I don't know what this guy is doing, but
say Mike instead of saying Karen. So it can be really useful to modify values inside of arrays. So it can be really useful to modify values inside of Python lists. So those are kind of the basics.
he said the same thing 2 times.
Of working with lists in Python. And actually in the next tutorial, I'm going to show you guys even more ways that we can use these lists. We're going to learn how to like add elements to a list,
List functions, which is like 8 minutes long, let's say. So I'll be doing this, and then that's it for today, right?
delete elements from a list, copy lists, and a bunch of cool stuff with these lists. But for now, this has just been sort of like the basics of working with lists.
This is Dave.
Oh my god.
Marketing at a ketchup company about to use Grammarly.
See, this is what I'm talking about, right? We've been streaming for 2 hours and 40 minutes now, and I only did 1 hour and 10 minutes. I don't know how this is possible, but I guess I wasted so much time checking the stream and stuff like that, but still I don't know how I wasted more than an hour. Like, yeah, it's an hour. I guess it's also the time when I kept pausing the video and stuff.
In this tutorial, I want to talk to you guys about using functions with lists in Python. In Python, a list is one of the most important structures where we can store our information. A list basically allows you to take a bunch of different values and organize them and store them inside of their own little list structure. So down here in my program, you can see I have 2
4. Oh my god. 4. No. Wait.
situations.
What did I do, bro? Okay.
With lists.
4, 8, then 15, 16, 23, 42. Yep. Friends equals Kevin. No, wait. Kevin. Karen. Jim. Oscar. And Toby. Okay. Close the bracket. Then print friends. Right? Okay. The time you pause is same as the time taken to watch the step, so it... Yeah, that's true. That's actually... Yeah, that's right.
Python. In Python, a list is one different structures where we can store our information. A list basically allows you to take a bunch of different values and organize.
I have to fix this thing, the chat, right? For the next stream I have to fix it. It's only a part of it showing, and I have to make it all show up, but yeah, we'll see.
Them and store them inside of their own little list structure. So down here in my program, you can see I have two lists. I have a list of lucky numbers, and this is just a bunch of different numbers. And then I have a list of friends. So this could be like a list of somebody's friends, and it's basically just a bunch of strings with names in them. So these two lists are storing a bunch of different values. And what makes lists awesome is not only could I store like this many values, I mean, I could store hundreds or thousands or millions of values. And when you're working with a lot of data and a lot of information in Python, these lists are invaluable. So because lists are so important, there's actually a bunch of different functions that we can use with lists. And those functions allow us to do things like modify the lists and get information about the lists. So in this tutorial, I just want to show you a bunch of those functions. We're going to talk about some of the most common and the most popular functions that you would use on lists to make them more powerful and make them more easy to use. So the first thing we can do is obviously just print out a list. So down here, I'm printing out this friends list. And when I run my program, you see down here, we're just printing out all the elements in the list. So it's always good to be able to print out all the elements inside of a list. But there's a lot of other functions that we can use. So one function is called the extend function. And the extend function will basically allow you to take a list and append another list onto the end of it. So I could say like friends.extend, and inside of these parentheses, I can pass in the list that I want to add on to the friends list. So I could say like lucky numbers. And now when I print out this friends list, not only is it going to have all the elements in the friends list, it's also going to have all the elements inside the lucky numbers list.
Did he use underscore or not? Yeah, he did, right? Yeah. So now friends extend. Oh, okay.
This friends list, not only is it going to have all the elements in the friends list, it's also going to have all the elements inside the lucky numbers list. You can see down here we have all of our friends, and then we also have the numbers over here. So that's a really easy way to essentially just like add two lists together. We can also just add individual elements onto a list. So I could come down here and I could say friends.append, and this will actually allow me to append another item onto the end of this list. So over here, I could just add another name. So we could say,
Again, I changed my name because the old name is since 2016. When I was playing Fortnite, I was obsessed with the DJ Yonder skin. Yeah, it's showing your name now. Okay. So he's doing this thing, right? Basically, he's typing below here. Oh my god, no. Oh my god. Print friends. But yeah, what he's doing, he's typing friends dot append and then creed, right? Again, I don't see this, like I don't see how this can be more helpful or more easier than just going in here and just add one more name, right? But yeah, let's see. So creed will be added at the end. The thing is, he deleted this. Okay. No. Okay. So now it has to show up here, yeah.
Creed, for example. And now I'm like adding another friend onto the end of this list. So when I run the program, in addition to having the original items that were in the list up here, we also have this additional item at the end. And that append function is always going to add the item onto the end of the list. But let's say that you wanted to add an item into the middle of the list, so like right here or right here. There's another list function called insert. And insert is going to take two parameters. The first parameter is going to be the index where you want to insert the item. So why don't we insert it here at index position 1. I'm just going to say 1, and then I'm going to type in the name of the element that I want to add. So we can just say like Kelly. And now at index position 1, we're going to have the value Kelly, and all of these other values are going to get pushed up. They're going to get pushed to the right one index position. So now when I run the program, you can see we have Kevin.
Oh my god.
Kelly, and then all the other elements have been pushed off to the right. We can also remove elements. So for
I
example,
know what's wrong
let's
with
say I
this,
wanted
but
to
keeps deleting itself. I don't know what I did, but yeah, let's just type in Kelly, right? Then close the bracket. And basically what this thing does is so Kevin 1 is Karen, 0 1 Karen, yeah, and then it should replace Karen with Kelly. And nah, something is incorrect. See, it's not letting me. I did something that I can't go in between two elements, right? I have like it's selecting Y or the bracket. I can't go in between. I don't know what I did, but yeah. Okay. So yeah, Karen is replaced now.
remove this Jim value. All I have to do is just say friends.remove, and I can just type in whatever element
Two.
I want.
Friends dot. Yeah, never mind. This thing is so annoying. Friends dot remove. Then 0 1 2, right? Oh my god.
I want to remove. So I want to remove this Jim
Oh.
element. And so now when we run the program, Jim is going to be gone from the list, and we just have these
Okay.
4 guys left. You can also remove all of the elements from the list. So if I just wanted to completely like reset the list and get rid of everything, I could just
What did I do?
have these 4 guys left. You can also
Friends dot remove Jim. I didn't do anything wrong, I swear to god. Line 3. I swear to god I didn't do anything wrong, or maybe it's the. I don't think so, but let's try. Yeah, obviously not this. Jim. Oh, okay, okay. Okay. So Jim has been removed. It's only Kevin, Karen, Oscar, and Toby. Yep.
remove all of the elements from the list. So if I just wanted to completely like reset the list and get rid of everything, I could just say friends.clear, and this is gonna give us an empty list. So it'll get rid of every single element inside the list. There's also another really cool method which is called.
What if I don't use the brackets? No, I have to use the brackets. Okay.
Pop, and you can just type out pop like that, and basically what pop's going to do is it's going to pop an item off of this list. So when I click the play button, you'll see here that we're left with Kevin, Karen, Jim, and Oscar. So
and Toby.
basically got rid of the last element inside the list, and that's what pop does. It pops an element off of the list, so it basically removes the last element in the list. So we have our list, but let's say that we wanted to figure out if a certain element was in this list, right? If a certain value is in here. So let's say I wanted to check to see if my friend Kevin was in this
Wait.
list. Well, I could
Friends pop. Let's see. Kevin. because I still didn't get what this thing does, but nah. Wait. Kevin, Karen, Jim, Oscar. Oh, okay. So it's basically removing the last name.
Say friends dot index, and in here I can just pass a value. So I could say like Kevin, and this is
Friends. C. Okay. Friends dot index. Then Kevin, right? Okay.
it's gonna tell me the index of Kevin. So it'll tell me if Kevin's in the list. So now when I click play, you can see down here it says 0. If I was
Okay.
to say like Oscar in here, for example,
3.
now it'll give me the index of Oscar.
Yep.
So that's at 3. But if I put a name that wasn't in here, so like if I put Mike, that's not in the list. And so now we're gonna get back an error because it says
Mike is not in the list.
So that's an
Wait.
easy way
Mike. Oh, okay. Okay, I got it.
to figure out if a specific element is inside of the list. And if it is, then you'll know what index it's at. You can also count the number of similar elements in the list. So I'm actually going to come down here, copy this gym element, and we'll add another gym element into here.
Okay.
So I could come down here and I could say friends.count, and we'll pass in gym. And this will tell me how many times the value gym shows up.
Oh my god, bro. I don't know what I did, but this thing is so annoying. It wasn't like this in the beginning. And I hope I can fix this. Like, once I close the program, right? And then I open it again, I hope it will be fixed. See, it's not supposed to be like this thing here. If I go here and then try to write something in between, right? I can't even. Yeah, see? Oh my god. Anyways, gym. Then no, yeah, it should be correct. Wait. Gym. Then Oscar. And we'll leave it as it is. Close the bracket. And
List. So it should say
friends dot count, then gym.
say 2, which it does down there because we have 2 values with the
Friends count. Okay. Yep.
text gym. And so we have all these values. We could also sort this list. So I could come over here and I could say friends.sort. And what this will do is it'll sort the list in ascending order. So we have a bunch of text here and you'll see what it does. Basically what it's going to do is it's going to put it in alphabetical order. So you can see we have J, K, O, and T. So the list went from being just
Dot sort. Okay.
random order like whatever we had up here to now.
Why isn't it in? Has to be gym first, right? Kevin. What the? I guess it's because I didn't use capital letter.
Now it's in alphabetical order. And that's also going to work for lucky numbers. So I could say like lucky numbers dot sort, and then we'll print out lucky numbers. And these should now be in ascending order, which I'm realizing they already are up here. But if I was to take this and put it down here, now it will figure everything out and put it in ascending order anyway. We can also reverse a list. So if I wanted, I could reverse this lucky numbers list. I could say lucky numbers dot reverse, and now when we print it out, instead of being 42, 8, 15, 16, 23, it's going to be 23, 16, 15, 8, 42.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
Basically just reverse the order of the list. And finally, there's one more list function I want to show you guys, which is copy. So I could actually create another list and I could make it as a copy. So I could say like friends2.
Look, oh my god. Look, I can't even... I don't know what the heck I did, bro. I don't know, I honestly don't know. But this is so annoying and I don't know how to fix. Missing... Oh no, bro. I have no idea what I did.
And we could set this equal to friends.copy. And now friends2 is going to have all the same attributes as friends. Because it's basically just like copied. It basically took a copy of that friends list. So you can see it's the same exact thing. And copying lists can come in handy in a lot of different situations. So those are just some basic list functions and just to kind of like, you know, get your...
So we're done with this one as well, right? And then we still have tuples, functions, return statement, if statements and comparisons, building a better calculator. But they're guessing game. No, there was some step where you can create an EXO game, building a translator, building a multiple choice quiz. No, I guess it's not. There isn't any EXO game or whatever. Anyways, guys, thank you Ahmed for being here the whole time. Thank you to the ones who took like few minutes from their time to be here. That was it for today. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. I guess tomorrow I'll be streaming as well by the same time. Yeah, thank you Ahmed. See you tomorrow. Yeah, make sure you'll come tomorrow at least to support me with a like. Support me by hitting the like button. And stay tuned. Yeah, more content is gonna come. See ya.